show 60 left on
And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kyle the Pug Sports Review Show, where we bring you the hottest sports topics from around the sports world, and we bring it to you here, not first, but we bring it to you guys since they're hot sports topics. I almost said the point where it's actually we bring to you the sports topics first, but that's like a copyright thing for like another thing that we were doing. But anyways, that being said, welcome to the show. I'm Kyle the Pug, aka Kyle Lodi. You can call me, whatever you want. Lodi, Kyle, Pug, doesn't matter, honestly. I mean, I can go with one or the other. So let's get right into the show. So we got Cowboy Nick here with us, as always. Say hi.
How y'all doing, folks? I already get my grocery shopping. I got everything all going. I got all the stuff I need to do. I'm doing very good doing it, and I got everything going. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Can't wait for the countdown to everything going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we go now.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear any of that. But, Nick, so you did, right at the beginning of the show, like a couple days ago, you went grocery shopping because you had to go. So I did the whole show by myself.
Yeah, but I texted you those parts.
Yeah, I saw that. I added at least one in there. So, I'm a fair person. I got you covered.
Right. Yeah, I'll tell you this right now, that Hall of Fame hunt was beautiful. It was nice, it was brilliant. But you know what? The one thing I'm gonna say is this: arguing over wearing a replica jersey and all this stuff. And come on, are you serious? You're gonna argue about this? If you're gonna wear a replica, you know what? It's the history of the sport. It represents the history of the sport. It represents the history of the team. How they came up from the team that you're representing came up from nothing to be with the other day. You know what? Suck it up, put on the jersey, show some respect to all the players who brought the league into what it is now, and shut your life to it and go forward.
Okay, so with that being said, we're going to get into today's topics here, as Cowboy Nick mentioned, one of last show's topics. Of course, you want to get his thoughts in there, that's perfectly fine. So, anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Dee Gordon's return to the Marlins lineup, and of course, Russia's team for the Olympics. Going to go anyways, despite them being depleted. But for first things first, though, we're going to talk about is Levon Bell apologizes for being a distraction as his suspension looms around the corner. So the Pittsburgh Steelers and, of course, the running back, Levon Bell, apologized for the distraction of his looming 4-game suspension, but he was generally vague about the issue when addressing the media Thursday about training camp. So the Steelers expect to hear back on Bell's appeal in mid-August, and, of course, that's what Tomlin said accordingly. And then he reported last Friday that Bell's suspension was the result of missed drug tests and not failed tests. So this is what Levon Bell said about his mistake, and I quote, "I want to apologize to Steeler Nation, all the fans, all the players and coaches for being a distraction in this whole situation. I don't obviously want to be a distraction, but this whole situation, that appeal is going to run its course," unquote. So right now, Cowboy, it's kind of a big deal now because he's suspended for the first 4 games, and he's part of that Steelers high-caliber offense, and they're going to be missing a piece for that for the next 4 games.
Yeah, and you know what? This is what I have to. This is why I'm serious to say this about it. You know what? The suspension was something he made for himself, for the actions he made for himself. And when you make the action, then what is given to you for what you have to take, and you have to learn, and you learn from it, and you move forward on, and not do it again. The fact of life is learning and moving on is a part of life. We must all learn. We learn from it, and it comes back. And it makes you come back on. And it comes back on you. And you know what? Your respect comes back, and your team loves you again. And when you do something like this, you know what, Levon Bell? You made it to where you're supposed to be. You made it to where a lot of people want to be. And you know what? You got to fight your work and move forward. Okay, you made a mistake. You know what? You learn from that mistake. You fight your lips. You put your jersey back on, and you move forward. have fans out there who love you. You have people out there who love you, and they love your team. They love you for what you did, and all this stuff. You think Jack Lambert would do the same thing as you were after the whole baby? No. Jack Lambert, a very, very good receiver and a very, very good Hall of Famer. Move forward. He made a lot of mistakes. He did a lot of things in his career. We all know that. But you know what? He did his work, and he came forward. And that's what a lot of these players, you know what? You pay for your mistakes, you move forward, and you allow your fans to respect you. Because without respect, you don't have fans. And you know what? I'm going to take it back to Kyle and see what you think upon what I just said. Kyle, back to you.
Okay, well, just to add on to the fact here really quick. So this isn't the first suspension he had, though, in his career. So he served a 2-game suspension, last season after being pulled over with possession of marijuana in 2014. Said he was frustrated, right, when he first learned about the punishment in March. But the back is letting his reps and the NFLPA handle that case as well. So he said he understands that some will believe that he has character issues off two off-field incidents, but also said that this isn't something he can control. But this is, of course, that's what Tomlin is going to say about this whole thing coming up here, and I quote, "Anything I say prior to that is simply speculation." And, of course, we got other people such as guard David DeCastro acknowledged that it is frustrating for a contending team to lose players. And, of course, wide receiver Martavius Bryce received a year-long suspension over multiple drug testing violations. And, of course, the Steelers do have a pretty decent backup, of course, with D'Angelo Williams, who rushed for 11 touchdowns in Bell's absence last season. He's basically the primary backup at this point. So, that being said, what do you think of the Steelers and their outcome that are going to be for the next 4 games? Same thing as Brady, but a kind of different little outcome, possibly.
Yeah, but in this situation, like I said, you've got to move forward. You can't just say, well, I think you're acting like that one kid who didn't get his toy or his juice box. So, you know what? You can't do that.
Well, he did apologize, though. He did apologize.
Like I said, bite your time and move forward. Everyone makes a mistake. Everyone does something that, is wrong. But, like I said, you have to bite your lip. You've got to move forward, put that jersey back on, and do what is right. If you don't, then your fans are never going to respect you like they did before. You know what? When you lose respect, your fans lose respect for you. That is the worst thing as a football player or any sport player you can have. Because when your fans lose respect for you, then you're no longer what they want you to be. They want players love. The fans love you. They care about you. They want you to succeed. They want you to be strong. They want you to do what's right. And they want you to play with respect. You know what? A lot of players who are in the Hall of Fame, why did they get to the Hall of Fame? Because their fans have said to other people, you know what? He plays like this. He does what is right. He does everything he's supposed to do. And he doesn't make mistakes. And when you make mistakes and don't do what is right, guess what? You'll never get that. You'll never get your jacket.
Well, on a positive note, I'm going to add this, though, on a positive note. Bell was not listed on the team's physically unable to perform list and is ready to practice less than 9 months after tearing his collateral and posterior ligaments last season against the Cincinnati Bengals. So, yeah, that's basically one part of the whole thing. But the Steelers staff can manage Bell's reps in practice, so he should be a fixture during camp. And this is what he said about the final thing in his little apology, and I quote, "I'm going to do as much as Coach Tomlin lets me do. I'm confident where I am right now. I felt like if we had a game tomorrow, I'd be able to play," unquote. So, Cowboy, your thoughts on that?
You know what? He says, I think I'd be able to play. No, you don't think you do.
No, I'm saying I felt if we had a game. That's what he said, if he had a game tomorrow. And he's confident about playing, too. And he's confident about it.
A lot of people are saying this about Curry now. They can't say, I think I'm going to win, then you're never going to win. You have to literally have courage. And you have to say to yourself, you're going to win. Because a player that says, I think I'm going to win, is never going to win. that's the problem with a lot of players. They say, oh, I think this is going to happen. No.
But he doesn't think that. He has the mentality saying that he knows that he wants to win.
Exactly. And you have to have that. If you just say, oh, I think it's going to happen, or I think it's going to be like this, then it will never happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta have that. I know you can do it instead of I think or I'll try, or that's what somebody said, a long time ago. But that's a topic to talk about for another day. But anyways, moving on here. So Dee Gordon's finally returned in the lineup. Are you happy, Cowboy?
Well, yeah, Dee Gordon come back. It's one of I was shocked that to have Dee Gordon back. And what a treat to have someone like him coming back and to see him doing the great things as he has done before. To see for ourselves what's going to happen now, but for now, all I have to say is welcome back, and I welcome back to him, and look forward to see what's going to.
All right, but that's the good news. That's the good news. What he obviously came back. But the bad news is, in his return, he went 0 for 4 with one strikeout in the Miami Marlins 5-4 loss to the Cardinals at Marlins Park. Of his 4 bats, Gordon made hard contact once on a ground ball that would have been a hit if not for a diving stab by first baseman Matt Adams. So kind of unfortunate for him, though. But Gordon's other 3 at-bats included a weak flyout to right, a routine grounder to shortstop, and a strikeout on 3 pitches when he missed on a high fastball before heading to the bench. And this is what Don Mattingly said about his little return, and I quote, "I thought D seemed a little quiet and probably a little nervous. As the game went on, he seemed more like himself," unquote. So your thoughts on that comment from Donnie Baseball, a.k.a. Don Mattingly. It's an old thing, I don't know if you realize that. But that's just that. But, of course, the Dee Gordon's, overall performance, post the performance-enhancing drugs.
Well, it's Dee Gordon. So when you look at a guy like him, the way he plays and everything that plays off, people just love to watch him. Even though I'm a Cardinal fan, I love to watch him and see what he can do because why? He's the kind of guy that when we look at him, he has worked his butt off to get what he got now. And for him to do what he
But remember, though, the performance-enhancing drugs kind of played a part of this as well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, that's bad, but I'm just saying that I'm pretty sure that he's going to learn from that mistake and move forward. Same thing with, of course, with Levon Bell with the last topic. But, well, at the end of the day, you might come back, you might have a little bit of the jitters and have some butterflies in your stomach. Big deal. It happens. But I guess, when time moves on, you're going to get better and better, like, each and every game.
Oh, yeah. And, one thing a lot of people are saying, as a countdown continues, that a lot of people have said that Gordon is also a candidate to wear the red, white, and blue in Rio. So.
All right, so during his ban, Gordon said that he watched the Marlins play, and I quote, pretty much every night, and he said that his main emotions was happiness because those guys, a.k.a. his teammates, were playing so well. And this is what Gordon said about, the whole thing about his teammates, and I quote, "I'm very excited. My teammates played superb. I'm happy to come back to a positive locker room and be with my brothers. There's nothing more I can tell you about the suspension other than to say that it was my fault. As a professional athlete and a man, when you get of course, the notification, that's what happens. I did what I had to do. I served my suspension. I took full responsibility for it. I'm going to get past this. After today, I just want to be done with it," unquote. That's pretty much what you got to say in every single sort of thing when you get caught with a mistake, Cowboy.
Oh, yeah, but the one thing I'm going to say, too, is I think we're seeing a little bit of the game before I had to go to something at the church yesterday at Novel. But, I think people want a little bit of game. And what I noticed about Gordon and Mitchell before, like, years deeper here before, is the discipline that he has picked up. And you know what? When a player picks up discipline, you see a guy who has the potential to one day people will say, "Oh, remember Gordon? Remember what he did?" He may not be the best player, but they remember, towards the after he
Well, that's because Kobe had the mentality of a warrior. Now, I'm not no pun intended either, but not it's like the strive as an actual fighter warrior. He wanted to bring the Lakers, championships, and he wanted to win one more in his career before he retired. But hey, that's another topic you're talking about for a different day.
But you're seeing the same mentality.
Yeah, it's the same chain reaction. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. So, anyways, back to Dee Gordon here, really quick. Gordon said that he doesn't feel like he has the earn to. Okay, let me rephrase that. Gordon said that he doesn't feel he has the earn to the trust of his fans again. Those who, for other people who can't help me play baseball, but he does feel like he has his own teammates to help him, regain that trust again. And this is what he said about it, and I quote: "I kept in touch with my teammates pretty much on a daily basis. And I told them, thank you for keeping your end of the bargain. I asked them to keep it close until I got back. And that's exactly what they did. Now I have to keep my end of the bargain and help them make the playoffs," unquote. And of course, should the Marlins make the postseason, Gordon would be ineligible as part of his suspension. And this is what he said on the final thing, and I quote: "I think they have a good chance of doing something special." And of course, Cowboy, I think you are a huge fan of seeing people do something special. So, what are your thoughts about all that?
That's something that is special from the fact that when I look at the Marlins this year, I think it's a team that has the potential for a wild card spot. But I'm also looking at what my team is trying to do, as everyone knows, other than the Cardinals fan.
Well, we all knew that.
And I'm looking at what they're starting to do right now and how they're moving forward. There's people all the big hype about the Cubs and stuff. You know what's happening right now? The Cubs are starting to fall apart, and the Cardinals are starting to slowly not. It's not. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but if you look at it, they're slowly moving forward. They're slowly catching up. They may not make it to where they're gonna top the Cardinals first place plus, but they're moving forward and they're starting to show, hey, we may not be the best, but guess what? We'll be still fine.
Well, going to the standings here really quick, the Cubs are at a 61-40 record, and the Cardinals are only 7 games back out of first place. So they have a long way to go.
Yeah, but I'm also going to say this. The Giants being pretty stable, but I'm also saying this. Your locker is telling you that you have something to creep up yourself, and that's not a bad thing either.
Well, we'll get to that here shortly, but back to Dee Gordon here really quick. And here's the real question: can Dee Gordon help them, aka the Marlins, get to the postseason in the year 2016? Can he be the player that he was in 2015 from last season?
Yeah, well, the Marlins are starting. Well, I think from the Marlins, I think on the position I have to say it's a lot of people that I agree with. What I'm starting to see from the Marlins is I'm starting to see a team that is ready for the 90s, maybe the 90s, and starting in the early 20s, 21st century and all that. I see that it's starting to say, hey, we're tired of being your run. We want more.
Because they're basically at this point you're looking at them as the typical underdog, and there's a lot of teams that claim to be the underdog. Even though we were mentioned before, the Chicago Cubs, having the best record in baseball, one of the best records in baseball as of right now, they consider to be themselves to be the underdog too, because of their World Series, the lack of World Series wins that they had over a century.
Well, I'm going to say that if I have to pick any team I think the underdog, you know what? That position goes to Cincinnati, because that team right now is an under. That team is completely earned.
No, they're not underdogs right now. They're just complete trash. They have nothing to play for, honestly.
No, the reason why I say they earn the underdog spot is because what happened with the Giants and them those last couple of games. We all know how they have what they did to the Giants. That's why I'm saying they earned the underdog spot, just the fact of what they did to the Giants.
Okay, so
And
real
things
quick,
like that.
real quick. Speaking of the Giants and of course the Dodgers in National League West, the Dodgers only 2 games back, so they've been creeping up there.
Yeah.
So that's how you actually creep up there, Cowboy. Unlike the Cardinals, sorry, I couldn't resist. But yeah, the Dodgers have been playing good baseball lately.
But you know what? You know what? They would do right, but at least my team still holding in their second place spot. If they were in third place and they took their second place spot, drop the Pirates or kick my ass.
Well, and the Dodgers aren't. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, I'll just leave it there. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. It's fine. No, we'll leave it there. But anyways, moving on here in topics here, we're gonna go to a completely different topic. We're gonna talk about what's been happening on the road to Rio, and the road to Rio includes Russia's depleted team being en route anyways and saying that we are after medals. So despite being a depleted Russian team, they departed for the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro on Thursday, missing dozens of athletes who were excluded from the country's doping scandal. That's a huge one there. So team members left on a charter flight from Moscow's international airport to Brazil on a day after an emotional farewell ceremony with Russian President Vladimir Putin. More than 100 athletes from which was originally a 387-member team have been barred from competing in Rio by international sports federations under the sanctions that most Russian athletes consider to be unfair. And of course, Anna San was a handball player who said about this, and I quote, "We're after medals. That's it. We needed to fight for those athletes who were disqualified," unquote. So what are your thoughts about this huge situation with Russia and Rio de Janeiro? I think it's kind of a big deal, don't you think?
It's a big deal, but the one thing I have to say is this. When it comes to Russia, and I will, excuse me for any Russian fans who see this.
Okay, now wait. Before you say that though, Cowboy, remember this was supposed to be a 387-member team. I mean, who knows what it's reduced to by now?
Yeah, but let me just say this, okay? And what is going on with Russia is basically this. They have to have it their way, but it's been like this ever since during the Cold War as well. Yeah, when it comes to Russia, if Russia could not have it their way, they cry and what they do like is McDonald's. They like to have.
Come on! Don't say that. Don't say that.
When it comes to Russia, Russia's basically McDonald's because
you're gonna make all of this.
If Russia does not have their way, does not have their way like McDonald's, or as I say, McDonald's, they can't be. They cry. They can't be perfect. You know what? You have to build on what you got. You have to do with what you got. If you don't have a lot of players, if you haven't done a lot of recruiting, guess what? That's your fault. And no, the Olympics is not what you can't have it your way. You have to make it your way.
This just in, the Russian mob kidnaps Cowboy Nick after his comments on today's sports review show and make him suffer with lots and lots of vodka. But hey! Alright, but anyways,
They have to, they're like McDonald's. You know what? That's their fault. If they don't have enough players with them, guess what? That's your fault. Why? Because you don't even go to the recruiting as you should have done, you idiot. When it comes to making a sports team, you must do your recruiting. If you don't do your recruiting, guess what? That is your problem. You have to look at the game and make yourself a big flat.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, you're getting a little out of control there, so I would just calm down here for a couple seconds. So, anyways, moving on here. Russia's weightlifting team has also been banned by doping cases and faced further embarrassment Wednesday when retests of samples from the 2012 Olympics saw 4 Russians, including 3 medalists, were testing positive on that little performance-enhancing drugs deal. The entire lifting team risks being banned from the Rio Games because of the large number of failures in retests from the 2008 and 2012 Olympic Games. And then Vladimir Putin last week called for the creation of a new state-backed anti-doping commission to draw up future strategy. In a clear sign of coordination, it was set upon hours above Vitaly Smirnov, a former Soviet sports minister and IOC member as well. So, I mean, it's a good call by Putin to make this little strategy because you see a lot of people that are doing the whole doping situation, and it's not really a good sign.
Hell no, it's not. Come on, if you're going to go for games, you're going to have to enhance yourself. Come on! Seriously? My name is Philip. I'm going to competing for skill. And they like skill. I took some special things. Well, come on, are you seriously going to go to the Olympics and you're training for all times and to wear your country's title on yourself? And you're going to go there and you're going to use it performance enhancing drugs? Are you serious? Come on! Like seriously, this is just some random game. This is representing your country. Like seriously.
This is as the great Allen Iverson once said, we're not talking about a game. And then you know the rest of the line from there. So this is what. Okay, I'm going to read a quote here from Smirnov, and then what he said about the whole thing. And I quote: "We will welcome the arrival of WADA. For those who don't know what that is, it's World Anti-Doping Agency, and we rule out any attempts of interference by the state or other structures. In Russia, there is not and never has been any state support for doping." Unquote. So. Russia, after seeing what happened here, they're not taking any more excuses. If you're caught with it, you're done. Plain and simple.
Well, that's good for them. You know what? It's fine.
And Putin, like I said, Putin's playing a part of it too, like trying to create, future strategies to prevent this from happening again.
Of course, you don't want to have players going to places like Rio and stuff and be doping. Come on, are you serious? You work for 4 years, make your team perfect for you to go to show other countries that your team is better.
And they have 4 years to prepare for this too.
Exactly. It's the job of your country. You're representing your country. You're not representing a sport. You're representing your country. You're going to face a team with a title. You're going to represent your country. Bring home the gold. So that other people can say, hey, look at this. Russia did this. Or America did this. Mexico did this. You know? No. All this stuff, man. No problem. And things like that. And there's things like that and getting everything done. That's what it means to have a team. That's what it means to represent your country in the Olympic style.
Well, it's not just that, though, but you got to have the heart and determination to move forward. And like I said, you have 4 years to prepare for this. And you think these people will learn by now, but apparently there's some people who apparently just don't seem to get the message, do they?
No, but the fact is, you have to, like, look at one country that everyone, we're not talking about a lot, but a country, the people are saying that they might be scared of this year. It's not China, it's not Russia, it's not the USA, it's not the country. You know what it is?
It's the home country, Brazil. Croatia.
Why? Because, okay, there's 3 players from Croatia who play at European water polo. One of them is 6'8", and he's been playing there for 5 years, and what did he try to do? Getting a teaching degree there. So what he's going to do during a water polo season, he's been known to score a total 8 goals in one game, and he's about your height, Kyle.
Wait, you said he's 6'8", though. How's that my height? I'm not even nowhere near that height.
They say he's 6'8", but they say he's 6'8" because of the most.
Maybe his wingspan is probably.
Look at his style, he's more your height.
Well, maybe his wingspan is probably out of control or out of this world. But I mean, good for them. I mean, they might get something in there. That's on them. That's not really for other reasons, for that matter. But well, you never know. This Rio's coming up here. We're prepared for it, and it's it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing turns out. That's all I have to say from there. I'm just going to end it on that. And speaking of ending it, and thank you guys so much for joining in on the Sports Review Show. And if you guys did enjoy the whole thing for 30 minutes, please drop a like, subscribe if you're new. It definitely helps on my channel grow. We're on the road to 50 subscribers on this channel, and on my main channel, we're on the road to 5,000 subscribers as well. So don't forget to check out my main channel as well. So that being said,
and also before we go, you're not forget to go out and go to DQ this week and buy yourself some of the either cookie dough or anything like that to represent children at American Children's Hospital Association. Donate a dollar to this association to help the children with cancer, with all the different types of cancer, such as leukemia and all that, to help them make themselves a better life. For every dollar you donate, a child will receive a DQ Sunday, and will be given more hope and prayers so that they are continuing to get better. And I know Kyle and myself, if we had callers, we would both go to Dairy Queen right now and buy ourselves a DQ Sunday and donate a dollar to them.
well, I'm not trying to get fat or anything, but I have other things to do. I mean, if I had the time, I would, but I just have other things to do right now. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Kyle the Pug, Kyle Motor. That's Cowboy Nick. And I will see you guys, or we will see you guys Monday for our next show. Same time, same place. So have a good day, everyone. And as always, stay safe. Peace!
You've been out all night, I don't know where you've been. You're slurring all your words, not making any sense, but I don't fucking